Yes guys, how's it going? My name is George Achillea, I'm a Spurs YouTuber, and today I am going to be ranking our players from the 2019-20 season so far. We don't know yet if it's going to finish, if it's going to carry on behind closed doors. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but I thought it might be a good idea to make a tier list and rank them to their performances this season alone, okay? Just this season, that's a disclaimer, not entirely. Just this season. That will include the Premier League and Champions League and any other competition we've been in. So across all competitions this season so far, I'm going to be ranking all of our players. Now, before we get started, I quickly just wanted to say that I've started a new channel called Just Achillea. This is going to be highlights from my Twitch because I'm going to be streaming games on Twitch now. I'm going to be streaming things like Modern Warfare. I'm going to be streaming GTA, Football Manager, all sorts of different games that you might want to see me play, as well as reacting to things as well. So if I want to react to the new video that Spurs uploaded, I'll watch that on the stream there. So, and as well as that, obviously go follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/Just Achillea. As well as that, a lot of you guys have been loving the career mode stream so far, so I'm going to be continuing those pretty much on a daily basis. I might have to take a break every now and again, but I'll be doing FIFA career mode on my channel live, and then on Twitch after I'll be doing all other random games and stuff like that. So if you want to follow me throughout this whole quarantine period, then make sure to follow all of my socials. Don't worry, names, tags, links, everything's going to be right here for you guys. But anyway, that's enough of me chatting. Let's get straight into ranking these players over there. Right guys, so as you can see on your screen, we have the tier maker. We have all of the squad underneath from this season, and we have the list going from great, good, average, meh, and oh dear. So that's kind of just the random rankings I've decided to do. And yeah, I'm gonna go these in order that they appear at the bottom. So let's get into it. First up, we have Hugo Lloris. I'll stick him there for now. The issue is with Hugo, right, is that he obviously got injured against Brighton, which I was right in front of, by the way, and it was horrific. Roll the tape.
Oh, he's screaming. Oh my God. Oh, his elbow's popped out. That's disgusting. No, I can't film this. I can't film this. That's disgusting.
That was not great to watch when you're row one, right behind the goal, next to him. But yeah, that means he was out for quite a long time. So it's really hard to judge players that have been injured for a long time. However, I feel like the time that he has been playing has been very, very mixed. Before he got injured, this was in the Poch era where we were playing poor. Our form was awful. We were in like relegation form. A lot of the blame, I remember at the start of the season, was going to Lloris for flapping some goals about here, this, that, and the other. But to be fair to him, like since he's come back from injury, he's actually been pretty solid. The only time I actually think he's had a bad game was against our recent one against RB Leipzig. So to be honest with you, I think I'm just gonna have to put him in the average. He hasn't had much of a season to be judged on, but he's gone from bad to good to bad to good. It's just back and forth. So very average season in my opinion. Next up, Eric Lamela. Eric Lamela for me is, he's been with us for 7 years. 7 years, and he was supposed to be the replacement for Bale. Lamela always seems to do this, right? He always starts off the season with maybe a couple of goals at the start of games, in the first few games. Then either gets injured or just completely falls apart. For me, to be honest, I don't think he's done enough at all this season, so he's going in the meh category for me. Next up is the boy, one of our own, Harry Kane. Harry Kane obviously is insane. We know that, right? World-class striker, but I have to be completely objective and I have to rank him from this season and this season alone. He has been injured since the 1st of January. I was there. That Southampton game was heartbreaking. Losing that on New Year's Day was horrible. But for the first few months of the season, he was still banging in goals and still in that category of top goal scorer in the league. So I think I'm gonna have to stick him in good. Any other season, he'd be great, top tier, one of the best. But because he's been injured for so long, I can't put him higher than that. Next up, Eric Dyer. To be honest with you, until very, very recently, has had a stinker of a season. When he was playing defensive mid this season, other players kept on running rings around him. He felt so kind of slow and not really that mobile in central midfield. But to be fair, very recently has had a big resurgence in centre back. I'm gonna stick him in meh. Next up, man like Toby Alderweireld, part of the Belgian duo that we've grown to love. These ones are heartbreaking for me, man. He has been pretty poor this year, along with Vertonghen, but we'll get to Vertonghen later. We have leaked goals every single game. I'm regretting to do this because he's gone from being great, one of the best centre backs in the league, but I'm gonna have to put him in meh. Toby obviously has had a couple of great defensive displays and scored against Aston Villa, but apart from that, defensively, we've been terrible. So for me, it's meh, it's meh. Moussa Sissoko. Again, another injury-riddled player this season. For me, has actually been probably one of our better players this season, and you can see how much we miss him badly in this team. He has bad games, has good games, has been out for a long time, so can't really judge his season that great. So I'm going to keep him in the average. Next up, we have young Gazzaniga. Gazzaniga, I think, has been the same level as Lloris this year. So I'm going to keep him in average because at the start of his spell, everyone loved him. But then again, it kind of just showed that he really is a second choice goalkeeper for us, because after a couple of months, performances started to dip. Carl Walker-Peters, what do we even say about him? He's played, what, a couple of games at the start of the season, and he's now at Southampton on loan. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop him to O'Dear. Vorm. I think we know why. Victor Wanyama, Mr. Spaghetti himself, well, used to be an absolute tank. Now is looking more like a Mini Cooper from the 1980s. It's sad to see, but he's gonna have to go into the O'Dear category as well, because ever since his injury, when I think it's a knee injury that Wanyama had, ever since then, just have not been able to recover from. This tier list ain't looking too great. One good player so far, not a single great, and everyone else just, Mr. Undom Bad Boy, Tanguy Ndombele. Ah, man, where do I begin with this guy? This one it's a tough one for me. It's a tough one. I've got mixed emotion. At the start of the season, I thought he was great. I thought this is an unbelievable signing. And obviously got his debut goal against Aston Villa with what a great finish that was as well, by the way. Anytime I see him on the ball, I think this is a footballer. He's pretty much the only one in the squad, or in that midfield, maybe apart from Lo Celso now, but at the start of the season at least anyway, was the only one that drove forward. I don't think he's hardly given the ball away. He is what Pogba wishes he was. The only issue, and I say the only issue, it is a very big issue, and Jamie Carragher touched on it perfectly. He just doesn't run. Doesn't run when he's off the ball. He doesn't go to collect the ball from the defense and move it forward. He almost seems to move out the way and almost let someone else do it, which is very poor. And it's like, we saw the videos of him tracking back. It's just, I so want to put him into this great category, because I genuinely believe at the very start of the season, that was where he was heading. But he's just dropping down, and I'm going to have to stick him in average. Winksy, Winkerbell, as expressions would say. He's one of our own. I love the guy. Harry, I think, is another player that's had a mixy. I know he's not that kind of player, but he also doesn't get assists or goals. The whole team in general has been pretty poor, and I'm unfortunately going to have to drop him down to meh, because he hasn't done enough for me to warrant him starting every game. Next up, we have young Dele Alli, while Pochettino was managing our team at the start of the season, was pretty poor, like meh. I mean, to be honest, teetering on oh dear. If you're comparing previous seasons, it really be like that. Since Mourinho came in, he did have a big resurgence, started playing a lot better. So I'm gonna bring him back up to average, because when he has played well, he's been so important for us. But very average considering he used to be in this great category with a lot of players. Next up, Lucas Moura, the absolute legend, which should have his own GOAT tier up here somewhere, purely for what he did in the semi-final against Ajax. And it's absolutely criminal that he did not start the final, but that's a whole nother point. We're not gonna touch that. But unfortunately, like I said, guys, this is the 2019-20 season. He has 4 goals in the Premier League, 4. As our winger / striker that he's had to play a lot of the times, that is bad. It's been a pretty messy, come on, I hate this, but like I said, I have to be as objective as possible. If I'm looking at this season alone, he actually got more goals in the Champions League last year for us than he has in the season, and that for a forward for me, that is poor, man. Next up, Ryan Sessegnon, a young English player that has got a lot of great talent, but unfortunately has not showed it at all at Spurs. The only good game he's had, and I say good game, the only good half he's had was against Bayern Munich away, where he got his first goal for Spurs. And I'm pretty sure that was his debut as well, or starting debut at least. He was actually doing what he used to do at Fulham, attack the left wing. But for now, I'm gonna be brutal. I feel like this, I feel so harsh. Look at this tier, man. Everyone is average or below except for Kane so far. Serge Aurier. But this one is one that I think the whole fan base is pretty clear on. Not everyone likes Serge, and I have to give credit to him. There are quite a few moments in the season where he's either bagged an important goal or put an important cross in. I'm gonna stick him in meh rather than oh dear. I think a lot of fans would stick him in oh dear and would want him out of the club, but I'm gonna put him in meh for now. Danny Rose. It is what it is. He's obviously at Newcastle now. He's had a half a season with us, has barely played, and when he has played, has looked horrendous, like Bayern Munich at home. 7-2. Now this next one's throwing me a bit, right? It is Davinson Sanchez. This guy seems to get a lot more hate than I think he deserves, especially this season in comparison to like where the whole squad is right now. Apart from Dyer recently, has probably been our best centre-back this season actually. But when he only has 2 clean sheets this whole season, I can't stick him in the good category. He is very good at tackling players, but we all know that he really struggles on the ball. I'm gonna have to drop him down to average because 2 clean sheets out the whole season, I can't justify putting him higher than that as much as I would like to put him there. Next up, we got Ben Davies. Ben Davies, I think I'm gonna stick straight into the meh category. Again, another one that unfortunately has been injury riddled this season, but even when he has played, I mean, he's been good, don't get me wrong. He's been good when he has played, but it's just still, it hasn't been game changing. Now, boys, I think we're gonna have our first great player, and that is Gio Lo Celso. Gio Lo Celso, I think, is gonna be our player of the season if they even finish the season. I almost think that him and Ndombele have done like a reverse this season. I think Ndombele started off the season, the first few games, thinking, wow, this is an incredible player, got injured, and then has been kind of not really that great since. Whereas Lo Celso was really slow at the start of the season. He then also got injured, but has come back an absolute unit. He deserves to be in that great category, and I won't have any of this. Now, from great to breaking my heart, Jan Vertonghen, I'm gonna have to put an O'Dear. Honestly, it genuinely pains me so much to put him in that position. The super Jan, the everything. This season, I don't know what it is. I think it's just become that time. I think he's what, 32, 33 years old? I think it's just time we need to move on. It's like you've just broken up, but you're still madly in love with your ex. It's one of them ones, like I love the guy to bits, but unfortunately, it's time to let go. Another one going straight into that category is Juan Foyth. I do think that was a very Pochettino of like, oh, I'm just gonna get another Argentinian youngster. He has played 4 times this season so far, for a total of 65 minutes. Now the next boy, one of our favorite on the channel, one of my favorite players to wear a Spurs shirt is Son Heung-min. That is it, the boy. I would love to put him in great, purely because of that solo run against Burnley. Goal of the season by a mile. He's also one of our top goal scorers this season. He's got 9 goals, 8 assists in the Premier League, and he's also got 5 goals in the Champions League. So I wish there was a category between good and great, but I think I'm gonna stick him in good. Like when Kane's out, Son steps in. When Son's out, Kane is obviously there. When they're both not there, the team just falls apart like Post Malone. So I'd say he's had a good season. He hasn't made it into double digits for goals. He's got a lot of assists, to be fair, which is quite banging, but I can't quite put him into that great category. Whereas I think Lo Celso is one player that has been pretty outstanding for us since he's come back from injury. And finally, Eriksen. New category, just for Eriksen. They had a shock of a season. He's been pushing the move the whole year since before the Madrid final. So the fall from grace is pretty hard and pretty fast. Now, obviously this tier doesn't include the new signings, Jedson and Bergwijn. I would say Jedson, I'd put in like the meh category for now. Bergwijn, I'm actually almost tempted to put in the good category because he's obviously got a debut goal. Great finish. Again, not enough. So I'll put him average overall for now because he's only they've only been with us like a month. But yeah, this is it. This is the final tier list. So I want you guys to leave comments down below if you agree with my tier list. I'm gonna pop it on screen again just to show you who I've put where. Just let me know, do you agree? Am I being too harsh? Am I being too generous to some players? I wanna know your opinions, but that is my tier list. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, turn on all notifications because I'm gonna be doing daily videos and live streams. Make sure to check out twitch.tv/JustAchillea and the Just Achillea YouTube channel for other great gaming content and behind the scenes videos. So I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know